And I don't know why it's doing that. So I was able to get the car running for a few seconds. Started up, it would start up fine, it would idle pretty good for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then it would die. Check fuel pressure was good. The injector pulse width started at about 2, which should be fine for idle. And then it would go down to about, it would go up to about 8. And that's when it would die. So I was going rich. I checked every single possible correction, table, map, everything for fuel, and I could not figure out why it was adding fuel and causing the car to die. I checked timing, tried 2 base maps to make sure there was no hidden tables that I couldn't figure out, and it was doing the same thing. And what's the problem? It's been 2 days. I've been kind of ignoring that problem, getting everything else buttoned up, trying to move forward, right? I don't want to get stuck on one thing, but this is pretty important. Car needs to run, car needs to idle. I think I figured it out, and it's kind of stupid, but the way this works is I had to add power to the VVTi, 12 volt source. I had to add power to the wideband, 12 volt source. I had to add power to the coils and the injectors, 2 separate 12 volt sources. All of those things run through the wiring harness under the dashboard. That's where things get interesting. If we take a look under the dashboard, see if we can focus on this. You see that the EMU is tucked up in there. Right there. And the wiring harness and all the pins to the wires are right there. So the 12 volt source that I was talking about that I needed for all these other wires is up under the dash also. So what we figured out is that the VVTi, I think, is advancing all the way, and that's what's causing the car to die. Because if you are testing your VVTi solenoid and you put 12 volts to it, that's a good way to test it, it'll cause the car to die. It advances the cam, it can't handle that at low RPM, and it dies. So I told Wes to unplug the VVTi solenoid just to test it. As soon as he unplugged the VVTi solenoid, the laptop disconnected, which means the ECU lost power. And I thought, why would unplugging the VVTi solenoid cause the ECU to lose power? That doesn't make much sense. So then I started remembering how I hooked all the powers together, and there must be in some way there must be a connection between how I hooked up the powers and how the entire ECU and probably all the other 12 volt components are being powered through the VVTi circuit. Even though I just patched all of them together, there's got to be something going on there. So what I'm going to do is get under the dash, cut apart the 12 volt circuit that I built, and actually look at all of them individually. Probably what I'll end up doing is separating them and giving them each their own 12 volt source. The other thing is the VVTi solenoid circuit has a flyback diode. It is possible that since I did all of this when I was super tired, I connected the diode backwards. I definitely looked at the instructions, the diagram, looked at the diode to make sure that I hooked it up correctly, and now I'm second guessing whether I did it correctly or not. Even though I even though I double checked it and was pretty sure I did, I can't rule out anything at this point. So as soon as I get all that fixed, I think the car's going to start up and idle perfectly right away. It's definitely time. We've got 2 days left. I've got the alignment tomorrow. I have to get the car tuned tomorrow. Other than that, everything's pretty much done. The dashboard needs to be put back together. Just minor stuff. Under the dashboard, the center console. Josh Hadlock helped me bleed the brakes today. I got to mount both NRG seats in here. And I think that's about it. So kind of a lot has happened since the last thing I filmed. Get this focused. I got this thing fixed up. I got it running, I got things put together, got the front end on. Pretty sure I got all the leaks fixed. There's a little tiny oil leak. I'm worried it's coming from the turbo drain, which is kind of hard to get to. The thermostat doesn't appear to be opening, so I'm gonna put in a new thermostat and drill a hole in it, which I normally do anyways to help it bleed. And when the cooling fans kick on, the relay goes crazy, like tick 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 tick, and I don't know why it's doing that, but I don't like it. So I need to look at that. I've just got a list of things to check. Driver's seat is mounted. We've got the steering wheel put in. I got to do boost control still. But hey, the thing runs, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Joe is arriving tonight on his flight, so I've got to leave in about an hour to go pick him up, and I really want to take this to pick him up. Even though it's not tuned or anything like that, I was gonna just get enough of a base tune on it to go drive it to the airport. It's about 30 minutes away. That's my goal, so I'm gonna get to it. I just wanted to do an update because I hadn't updated in a while, even though you guys don't know my timeline. I'm gonna edit this video anyways, but I just felt like I hadn't given an update. I've done quite a bit since the last time I updated this, the progress on this. So I'm pretty happy. Things are coming together. We also had some problems with the clutch. Not necessarily the clutch. It was dragging in gear as if the clutch wasn't releasing, but the clutch was releasing. So what we figured out is the input shaft was too tight on the pilot bushing, because the Nissans use that brass bushing, and when we sucked the transmission in, we had to use the bolts to suck it in carefully. And I think it was just too tight on there. And so what I did is I got the engine up to speed a little bit in third gear, and then I grabbed the handbrake really hard, like 3 or 4 times. That way it stops the wheels, but keeps the with the clutch in. Sorry, clutch in, and then grab the handbrake while on throttle. That it was forcing the input shaft to spin inside of that bushing, and it made some squealing noises and stuff, but now it's working. So it was either that or pull the trans out, and we do not have time to pull the trans out. And I figured either way, whether it screws up that bushing or not, we got to pull the trans to fix the bushing, or we got to pull the trans to solve the problem. So it seems to be working, but I want to go put some miles on it before the trip, so that's my plan. Can't believe I'm going to drive this thing to the airport to get Joe. There's not even a passenger seat in it. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark. This is going to be wild. I don't know how much fuel I have. Can't believe I drove this thing all the way to the airport, and there weren't any problems. I had to stop and retighten the wheels once because of the powder coat, but I'm very impressed with this thing. I smell a little bit of burning oil. I think it's dripping on the manifold and stuff like that. I just hope it doesn't, hope the car doesn't catch on fire from the oil. But I'm here at the airport to pick up Joe. Look at that, brakes. Gotta bleed the brake.
It's literally like an Uber, bro. It's like, you know, like in first class, you need leg room.
Yeah, there you go.
I can have a sleep here. I can have a nap. Right.
I'm super happy right now with how well this car is doing. For the maiden voyage, we're testing it out for the road trip. Eating a hamburger while driving. Gonna be doing a lot of that. What do you think?
We don't have cup holders at the moment, so I'm just holding the cup.
Oh yeah. The car's not put together yet. This is the first test drive. I literally had to hardwire the headlights, last minute check, and then just jumped in and drove to the airport. And the car's had no issues. So that's why I'm just super thrilled right now that all the work we've put in the very first test drive is going absolutely smooth. Can't believe this thing made it all the way to the airport and back. And it's running awesome. We just stopped by Brad's house to pick up the other powder coated wheels. Oh, they look sick. You guys gotta see this. Look at that. Such a nice finish, looking good.
And we're gonna keep them that way.
Yeah. I'm really excited to test this thing out. Where is it? Down here. trailer hitch. I want to hook up that trailer tomorrow and go tow it around the block and see. Basically, the car just needs to be tuned a little bit. I need to spend some time getting the air-fuel ratio right and then timing, and hopefully we can get on the dyno tomorrow for a few minutes and just double check everything, get some power numbers. But man, it's driving pretty good. I miss this car. So stoked that everything turned out. All the hard work, all the time we spent, the late nights. I haven't slept more than a couple hours in days, and yeah, it's working out really well, so I'm stoked.
We just toss this in the snow really quick so it'll cool off.
Is that hot?
It's nearly there.
Oh, it's not sizzling.
No, it's not that hot. So they're not perfect, but they're perfect.
There, we'll edit that in. Pretend that I know what I'm doing.
I mean, we weren't shooting for that, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I don't paint cars with brushes. I use proper guns. But I don't have time.
I painted the whole car like this.
Lies.
He did. He asked me to use a paint gun, and I said, no, there's no time for that. So this is just touch-up. This is literally what the word touch-up means.
Yeah.
You're touching it up with a brush.
I'm touching it up. Like, I'm trying not to.
It's actually looking really good. I got my guy here, Chamberlain. This is the most important alignment that I will ever need done, because I need to not have to mess with it for 3,600 miles.
3,600 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every time you do my alignments, they're like straight as an arrow and just perfect. But now I'm concerned about actually tire wear, right? Because I got to go that many miles.
3,600 miles.
Yeah.
You can't kill off too many tires.
Exactly. Because I got to get there, drive on those tires, and then.
Get it.
So yeah, Scott's gonna dial it in, like he does, doing the magic.
We'll do that.
We were talking about it. We'll probably raise the suspension a little bit in the front and the rear. Right. I don't know if the trailer's gonna have a lot of tongue weight, but either way, I just kind of,
It'd be good.
Yeah, make sure that it's got
smart
some.
Move for the road trip.
Yeah, because it's pretty slammed and it's sick, but for a road trip like this,
right,
we gotta play it safe.
So we'll pull the front up like a centimeter on the coilover.
Yeah.
The rear will do like 2 centimeters.
Yeah.
And then that will give you just.
It's got that reverse rate going on.
That should
Straighten
work.
it out. Cool.
I think so.
Let's get to. What do we got going on here?
Oh, I'm just messing around.
A 3-foot pipe wrench.
Yeah, they weren't breaking loose, so
Hey, it worked.
we had to get them going here.
Sick. Yeah, it's weird. I thought these were in great condition, but that's why I was like, why are they not moving?
This one's just really dirty.
Really?
It looks like you blew an axle boot or something.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Blame game.
I'm just saying.
The
it
axle
looks-
blew itself. I was just driving.
All right, well, fair enough.
See what this guy's got going on.
Yeah, get this done, boys. The same the other side, and then some bracing there, and maybe on the middle.
I like it.
Because I have no idea how much weight we're gonna put in this thing, so
A lot.
yeah. So 2 welds wouldn't make it. Huh? Reflexes. See it? Like for people that are viewing this, I'm just trying to arrange a way of bracing this and like make the boxes fit in the middle in the way.
It's looking pretty good. So we still have to go tonight and get the tint put on the car because that's a priority, right? We have to have tint in the car. Still got to put the subwoofer in. That's priority number 2, right?
Sub over the tint, I would say.
Ooh. Problem is the sub takes 2 minutes, so that's easy.
But if I needed to choose,
Joe's been working on the trailer. It's coming along good. We got to mount a few tires and wheels. And Wes is putting in the seat. I think we're in pretty good shape. Not bad. I wanted to leave in the morning, but we'll probably leave tomorrow afternoon. Chamberlain did the alignment. It's all dialed in. Exhaust is done. Everything. Yeah. We're in pretty good shape.
Brandon, what are you putting on the car?
80/80.
And what's 80/80?
They're our sponsor for this trip.
What? You get sponsored now?
So we're here at the tint shop. This takes priority over everything else.
Facts,
Getting the
obviously.
tint done. Jonathan's helping us out with the tint job.
Got to make your car look good before
That's right.
you drift it, right?
That's right.
You know what's the second most important thing?
What?
The sub.
Subwoofer. So we're doing, what did we decide on?
55, 20?
55
Right?
front, 20 rear. Yeah. You think that'll look good?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Who said a race car doesn't need to be clean and nice?
Right.
Huh? Like, no one's gonna see that, but we're still gonna go and clean it.
Creates a smell. So I wanted to show you guys this, what I found out. When I was looking at my door seal here, it had actually shrunk. So it was a little bit inside here, and up here it wouldn't actually like fit all the way around. So what I did is I cut right here to take up the gap. And you see, if this camera will focus. There, no, almost. You almost had it, camera. There you go, just move back. Only film what you're gonna use. Alright, that's good enough. If you see here, that's about the gap that was that it had shrunk. If we look at the other side, it's a little bit bigger on this side. But now it sits up here and tucks, so it should help seal the wind noise a little bit better. And I don't think I was leaking rainwater in here. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you don't mind, go give it a like, and if you have a chance, subscribe to my channel and follow the other stuff that I got going on. We'll be doing the Drift Week updates all this week, and if you're watching this video after, go check those videos out because there's going to be some wild footage going on.